In this episode, we're going to talk about habits and habit stacking. Before we get there, I just want to say I'm sorry for this episode coming out late. I know it's supposed to come out on Wednesdays, and I actually did have it ready to go on Wednesday, but I got in my head a little bit and got out of the habit of recording and putting it out. And something almost stopped me from doing this, and I almost actually just stopped altogether. Stay tuned to the end. I'll explain what happened, why I got out of the routine, and what got into my head. But I want to get on with the show because habits are super helpful. And if we build healthy habits, we can keep moving forward. I hope these habits help you. And let's listen in. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete Podcast, where we bring coaches, parents, and athletes expert tips and advice to help keep cheerleaders healthy, strong, and at the top of their game. Now let's go. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete. Welcome back to 2025. And today we're going to talk about habit tracking. This seems to be a big trend on my Facebook page. Everybody's talking about habits and creating new habits. And it's inevitable when we get to the new year that we want to look at what we've done and what we've been doing. And if we want to keep improving, what habits we need to make changes to build on that. I have been away for 2 weeks now, and I just needed a little mental break. I've been going hardcore between work and family and holidays and just trying to do all the things like we all do. And I just needed a little bit of time off. And it was very helpful for me because I took some time to reflect on what happened in the last year, reflect on where I want to go in the future, and to create a little bit of a vision. And I think that's important when we talk about habits. So I appreciate your patience, and I really appreciate you coming back and to listen to me when there's been a little bit of time away. I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday, 2 holidays, 3 holidays between and transition into the new year. Today is January 8th, 2025, and we're like in full swing again. Started back to my full-time job on Monday, and it seems like it's all just catching up again, but I feel a little refreshed because I took some time to reflect and think about the habits that I want to change. One habit, um, I actually don't have this in a straight up, I struggle with this because I fully believe in habit stacking, which is, I haven't really fully read the book, to be honest. I fell asleep, but there's a book about habits that they talk about building, adding one habit on at a time. So when you're brushing your teeth, immediately after you're going to floss your teeth. Or, if you're in the shower, you always wash your hair first and then immediately you're going to condition your hair. Those are habit stacking and putting pieces together so that it's not overwhelming and you're not feeling like you have to do a lot of things. So one thing I preach to people is that, when you're stretching, you're going to do a stability exercise after. And that was one habit I'd like to maybe have you explore this year. In that you're going to, you're doing a hamstring stretch to improve your heel stretch. Well, after you do that, do some straight leg raises, whether it's lying down or standing, whatever position you're in. Do some leg raises after you do that and see if you actually make a change in your ability to pull that motion off better. This I is a way of thinking, and something that I've got come around to with neurokinetic therapy, which I practice and use as my assessment tool. And we do a release followed by an activation. And if you can put them together, it really can make a change in your mobility on a whole. So that's one habit that you might consider adding into your routine. And myself, I'm still trying to figure out what do I want to do. And my business coach, Greg Todd, is doing a challenge for the next 12 days starting today and just giving us habits to work on over those 12 days. And I like this 12 day because he's adding one at a time. I think if we can add one at a time, it's much less overwhelming than trying to. Today, I'm going to eat well. I'm going to get my exercise in. I'm going to do all my mobility work. I'm going to get my homework done early, and I'm going to go to bed on time because that's a lot and it's very overwhelming. But today, our habit was to write in our gratitude journal 3 things that we're grateful for. And that can change your mindset. And I used to do this all the time, but I've kind of gotten away from it just because life and other things. I always wake up and think about things that I'm grateful for, but I stopped writing my journal and I started that today. And I can already feel a little bit of a shift in my own uh, mental state. Yesterday was very stressful at work and it was very chaotic. And I came home raging at my husband for no reason. It was just Tuesday. And, uh, and I missing the time off that I had last week, but sitting down and writing my gratitude journal that, I'm thankful for my home. I'm thankful for the heat with this wind going. And I'm thankful for programs and coaches that help keep me accountable. This my mindset has shifted a little bit. Got up and I got my exercise in earlier than I normally do. I am motivated to get to work today and get after it. I still have a lot on my plate, but I'm not as anxious about it as I was. And they say that with gratitude that really makes that big shift. You can't be grateful and angry at the same time. Do think there can be a little bit of both, but like it does, if you can start to, it lessens the fear, it lessens the anger when we can express our gratitude. And I truly believe that writing it down, whether it's in a journal or on a post-it note, or, writing it down physically on a physical piece of paper like this notebook makes a big difference. And so that might be another habit that you start to implement with yourself or with your kids, that to start to get that to bring in that positivity in the day, and finding time to recognize what you're grateful for and keeping a journal of it, because then you can go back in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, in a year, and see, oh yeah, these positive things happen. And my cat snuggled with me on my couch today and decided not to paw over my computer. Like that was one major thing. It was so cute and it was peaceful. And it makes my day happy when he does that. And I wrote that down. And so when you can write that down, it really can make a shift in how you feel inside, and it can make practices better. It can make you more motivated to get after what you need to get after for the day. And it can make life better. So the third habit shift: create some movement into your day. This not, again, not doing these all at once. These 3 tips for improving some habits, like take them over the next course of the next month if you need to. Creating a stability or strength exercise after you do a stretch. So if you're doing stretching, you're lifting your leg up. Number 2 is gratitude, and writing it down into a journal, keeping that journal. And number 3 is creating movement uh, pieces through your day, little clips. Like we don't like to do the full routine full out all the time, and we cringe when coaches say, "Hey, you got to go we're going to do this routine one more time," and then you finish and you're like gassed, and they're like, "Get up and do it again." We hate doing that, right? But when we break our routines down and we do sections. Okay, we're going to work on stunt sequence today, and we're just working on that. It makes it more palatable. So do the same thing with your exercise and your mobility. When you're brushing your teeth, do some weight shifting exercises to get your hip flexors and your hamstrings a little stronger and mobile. Weight shifting back and forth. Explore the motion. That would be something I'd love to see y'all do this year, is learn how to explore motion instead of just forcing a stretch or forcing an exercise. Learn how to feel it. See what it feels like in your body. Do this while you are washing dishes. Do this while you are waiting for your stunt group or waiting for your tumble pass to go. Just stand in place and see, what does it feel like as I do a rib shift, or, break the dance apart and just move it slowly, take each piece separately and see what it feels like in your body. If it doesn't feel good, you need to find a way to make it feel better. If it feels good, great. Keep practicing that and just get the groove of it down. And you can do this with all motions. And I say take, the parts of the dance and different motions like that. But I like to use gait motions because I think they're easy to replicate. But you can take anything through your day and just try to feel what it feels like in your body, and do that intermittently through the day when you're not actually formally exercising. And it will make you create better movement patterns, reduce pain, and get you moving better in a whole. And then you get that movement in, and it's a no-brainer for the day. I like the idea of habit stacking. I think building gradually is important in whatever movement routine you're doing and whatever life routine you're doing, changing your attitude, changing how you eat, um, changing how you look at life, how you look at competitions. It's all important. And when we can do just a little bit at a time and build one at a time and build one aspect on top of the other, it's more likely to get accomplished. And that is the key with goals and setting, trying to create improvement in our life and especially in cheer. It's great to be back, and I'd love to hear from you. What would you like to hear more about this year? If you're a coach and you'd like to come on, or a cheerleader and you'd like to come on and talk about your experience, or if you know someone, refer them to me. I would love to have people on the podcast that want to talk and share their experiences and give some tips to help other cheer athletes be better, and just not even be better on the mat, but be better in life, and to appreciate what we all appreciate about being a cheer athlete. I hope you have a great week. If you're interested in any of my free guides and you want to reach me to refer someone to me, you can find that in the show notes or email me directly at laura@movebetterllc.com. And someday I'll get that phone number that you can text me at too. But for now, do that. Don't forget, when in doubt, breathe it out. You can do anything you set your mind to. Take things one step at a time, just like habit stacking. And like my friend Drew Kelleher says, you're responsible for your own vibes. So go get the day. Thanks for listening. I'm so glad you made it to the end of this episode. And if you did, kudos to you. I hope you're having a happy and healthy and habit-filled new year. Healthy habit-filled new year. I almost didn't release this episode because I got in my head. I had some stuff going on outside of my business that made me rethink what made me think about what I want to do, and gave me a little doubt in my in what I'm doing in having this podcast. And I decided over the last 2 days that I actually really want to make this happen. I really like talking to you, with you. I really like talking with you. Talking to you seems weird to me because I'm talking to my face on a camera, but I really enjoy talking with you about cheerleading and about injuries and how to keep them happy and healthy. I enjoy talking movement. I enjoy talking about fitness and hope, and how to keep the hope alive for cheer. And I want to continue that. And I had to get out of my own head. And something that's helped me with that is I'm in this challenge with my business coach, Greg Todd, is running a challenge called the Invincible Income Challenge at the end of the month. And he's doing a 12-day challenge to build mindset. And the Invincible Mindset, I think it's called, or mindset, it's something to that effect. And it's habit stacking over the course of 12 days. And we started out with gratitude, day one. Day two was taking a 20-minute walk outside. And today's day three, and it was shutting down the computer for, and going digital free for an hour, and, taking time to meditate and read. And that reminded me of why I'm doing this. I got in a habit over the last year and a half of recording a podcast every week and putting it out there. Maybe you enjoyed it, maybe you didn't, maybe I ramble. I do. But hopefully you found some value in it. And having that habit of doing it regularly made it easy for me to do. Getting back into these habits with Greg and taking control of my own health is really helping me to figure out how I want to continue on in the future and where I want to go. I'm not a young spring chicken just out of college pursuing physical therapy and just off the chair mat anymore. I have been at this for a long time, and I enjoy physical therapy. I enjoy working with people. I really enjoy helping people understand benefits of movement and benefit and the importance of your mindset as you recover from an injury or just in life. Because life throws us a lot of hard stuff, and it can be very scary and chaotic, and we can get really frustrated. But I hope to give that to you. And I hope that if you find that beneficial, that you'll share this with someone, that you'll reach out to me if you are struggling. And if you need a little nudge of motivation, I'm always here to give that to you. And I hope I do intend to keep this podcast going. I intend to have more guests on. I intend to also come on and ramble my beliefs on movement and what I have seen work in physical therapy and the strength and conditioning world, and what I've seen work to prevent injuries in cheerleading and to help improve mobility and performance to keep athletes happy and healthy. I loved when I was coaching and my kids would get frustrated. I didn't love when they got frustrated. I did love when I was able to sit with them and talk with them and actually talk through the struggles they were having, because that's part of life. And as coaches or as parents, that's our gift to the cheerleaders, is being able to teach them how to manage life outside of the cheer floor. That's one aspect. It's fun. We love it. Athletically, it's amazing, but it's one aspect of life. And if we can keep that in perspective and keep teaching good, healthy habits like journaling, like exercise and getting outside in the fresh air, and like shutting down our equipment at least for an hour a day to decom to focus on the greater good, whether it's you're praying to the universe, to God, to Allah, whoever you pray to, and you give thanks for that, and you recognize, and then you read and you develop your mind. Like if we teach these habits to our kids and to the teams, we're going to create a world that is much bigger than ourselves, and that's the importance of everything. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'd love to know your feedback. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to leave them below, and please keep joining in and listening. Hit that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday on the Cheer Athlete Podcast. Thanks for listening.